the videos. That's because
All
I
right.
drank too much, probably.
People talking in movie shows.
Oh, there we go.
People smoking in bed. People voting Republican.
Speaking of movie night.
Give them a boot to the head.
Oh, we need some part here.
How about you, Gino? Are you gonna make it?
I'll try to make it this weekend.
All right, cool.
Well, Mock, you want to first introduce things, but talk about your project.
Oh. Are we still the arcade hangout? Do I have to do an announcement, or are we just chatting?
It's a hangout. I don't think it has. It's
a live hangout.
Welcome to the hangout.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of friends that like to get together once in a while and talk about shit. Anyway.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this Saturday, I threw together a fun Sick and Twisted animation festival thing that I put together and have a little intro in it and has little fun facts at the end. It's sprinkled with some Spike and Mike stuff and some stuff you might have seen or probably not have seen, but it's collected from all the way from 1974 to today. So kind of a wide range of crazy animated stuff. Some of it is so offensive that it's
We can't talk about
somebody. Yeah, but that was the point. I wanted to put some like crazy stuff in there, so for shock value, and it'd be kind of fun to. I can't wait to see certain people's reactions, like like Jesse or something, going, "Oh my god!"
Nice.
I'm sure some of 34K's private collection will peep in there a little here and there.
Yeah, and some of it.
No,
is
but
like,
I can do that. I can play that during the intermission, though.
There we go.
Okay.
well, the intermission
to tame
actually-
everyone down. Yeah.
Is the video working? I'm just trying to find it, see if there's
What video?
the YouTube. Us.
Should be.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go. I see it.
You see?
So the intermission is
Refresh.
built into the
Yeah.
movie too. So it's exactly 10 minutes. So you guys can go eat, drink, whatever you need to do.
Oh, the intermission's 10 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got a 10-minute intermission built into it, so
Awesome.
we can go get drinks and go to the bathroom or whatever after the hour mark. But there's a few claymation things in there. So Carrie can enjoy those, and
Nice.
I think Carrie you'll like more than you think because it's not your standard animation.
Oh, I'm
stuff.
just I love what you do. Like you do some really cool and fun things. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not mine. But it's stuff that I thought was funny or
Yeah.
twisted or weird. So, what was the crazy title?
It's Mock's pick. If this was a video
Mock's
rental
Mayhem
store, it'd
of
be Mock's.
animation, animated anarchy.
Anarchy. Yeah.
How to come up with something different. So yeah, I hope everybody can make it. I was gonna ask Dave's gonna make it, but he'll probably be playing poker or something. But but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. I've tested it on Andrew's thing. I play tested it for a friend. Actually, that was Saturday night what we were watching, and he was like asking me, "You're gonna play that for people?" This
Oh, that's an
Praise.
endorsement.
That's
Yeah.
high
and,
praise.
I went, "Yeah." I go, "That's a
Yeah.
classic."
So
and some
just
of
to
them aren't even
clarify,
gross. They're
like-
just videos that I think are cool. It's not all of it is like crazy. That crazy. Some of it's just a video I thought was interesting. Or
What's the longest
the longest one?
segment or whatever?
I
Yeah.
think 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. So they're all pretty darn short.
They're all 6
Oh,
minutes or
wow.
less. Yeah,
They're all
it's
like- they're
if you hate
Acme
this one,
cartoons.
you'll love the next one, maybe. It's kind of like anthology. So, yeah, if you hate one of them, and I only have 2 long ones in there. One's 5 minutes and the other one's 6 minutes. And I put those on different ends of the intermission. So, yeah.
So we should expect like Bugs Bunny, Road Runner.
What's funny?
Yeah, bring your
noticed-
kids.
yeah, bring your kids.
Yeah.
Dave, I hope you can make it Saturday animation festival that I'm doing 9:00 Pacific.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's this Saturday. You guys, you haven't joined us for movie night yet, but
It's been a long time for me. It was just a pain in the ass, to be honest, for me, the way I want to do it. But now I got this giant ass TV in front of me that's my monitor. So I
cool.
can do it all in one. Before I was trying to do the, if you're still doing it that way, I think like Discord was how you guys were chatting.
Yeah, I sent you the link to it. I sent it to Leo. We got to send it to Dave and Gino because we have a new link.
Okay.
Gex in the new channels. But I can set up a link for
through the
other
email.
folks.
We'll send it to them because we need to get control over Discord because Orange Whip has control over it, and we're having some fuckheads in there that we wanted to get out, and we can't kick them because we have no control. So
we couldn't set up other channels or other voice things,
So when we play games that are like two teams against each other, now we can separate in two separate channels and do strategies, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember you talking about the challenge of like when everybody can hear everything.
Yeah. So if we ever play Killer Queen again, we could separate in separate channels.
Like baseball sign language.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I got a small rant.
Yay!
Reminds me of a rant.
No small rant.
A little one. It's a little one.
Never.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Let me make sure I got full beer for this one.
Did you guys hear?
You do, Dave.
Discord is in talks of selling the platform. Andrew sure knows.
To Microsoft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what happens when Microsoft takes it over?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's actually generally they're just looking for a buyer, but Microsoft is one of the bidders, I think.
Oh, God, that's just awful because they're going to make it a subscription base or make you got to pay for it.
Tons
or
of ads.
Crap.
And
they're going to ruin ads all over. It's going to be garbage.
That's
my little rant.
Because
they're going to ruin something I love.
Every time you open it, it forces you to go over to like Explorer or Bing or some bullshit, right?
Some other thing. That's right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, not to say it's because they did such a bang up job with Skype. That's
what I mean.
Sure
they took Skype and
fine.
They took a big bite
what a
out
relief
of
it was to find out that Skype for Business went away or is going away tomorrow. I got an email from work that that Skype for Business
My work got rid of it too.
It's phasing in. It's just going to be Microsoft Teams, which isn't much better. But yeah.
Yeah, so I was really bummed when I saw that
Yeah,
article.
Skype is absolutely terrible.
No, don't fuck with Discord. If anything, if you do anything, fix the interface so it's easier to use. Because it does.
It's maybe Disney will buy it for you.
Because they have a great reputation.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Good one.
What was it? Disney Plus still doesn't have Condor, man. What the fuck? Okay, I'm done.
How could they drop the beat on that one? Yeah.
Oh, come on. There's got to be more Disney you can rant about.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyone watch the Snyder Cut?
We started to.
Yeah, I actually got the first half of it through. So it's 2 hours, like a regular full-length movie.
Yeah.
So
at least it's broken up into parts, so that you could be like, "Oh, okay, here's a good spot."
So no spoilers. I think this is totally obvious, but I think I saw other people commenting too. Like, what's the deal with the 4:3 aspect instead of 16:9 or whatever?
I know
they shot it. Yeah,
they said it was IMAX or something, right?
But what's funny is they didn't use IMAX cameras though. They used.
But IMAX isn't 4:3 either, is it?
It's closer to 4:3
really?
than 16:9. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it kind of depends because there are different IMAX formats though too.
Well, the supposedly the best one, the biggest one is almost like a 4:3 ratio.
Weird.
So when you watch I think it was Batman. Which Batman was it?
Superman?
Batman? Not Begins.
Oh, like Dark Knight.
Where
the aspect ratio
so it kept changing though. Like you're watching the movie, and then when it's an action sequence, remember when Batmobile's driving over the roofs of the buildings? He's on the top of the buildings. That would switch to like IMAX, and that turned into a big 4:3.
Same with at the beginning of Dark Knight when Joker when he's doing the big clown heist.
I think that was an IMAX.
That was all an IMAX.
But it would switch back and forth, which is really jarring. Just keep it weird.
It is, but you know who else does that is Wes Anderson. We'll do that in the middle.
He'll switch it. Yeah, but it's Hotel Budapest. He did that.
But it's for mood. He actually does it. It's very deliberate. Yeah, it's, same thing that they're doing with the Batman movies.
WandaVision really played with.
I was just going to say WandaVision did it too.
But that played to it. That was smart.
Yes.
I thought
that was intentional.
Yeah, it was intentional, just like all of it. Yeah. So anyway, Justice League, it's 4:3. It is beautiful.
It is
as far as like how it looks and everything, and it is a better version. I've only seen, I watched about 30% of it or something or 40% of it, and then we were waiting for people to get in there. We were going to play Bridge Crew in VR and stuff, and after when people showed up, we took off.
Was that like last Saturday or?
Yeah,
no, it's Friday.
Friday.
Or Friday, yeah. And then Gabby and everybody, they watched the whole thing with Gleek. Gleek's the one that was playing it. He was streaming it. So he joined us and put it on. But he was raving about it like it was the best thing ever in the whole wide world. I was like, wow, he loves that movie.
I actually,
it's all right, but
I thoroughly enjoyed it because I was just thinking, because all I could think about was the theatrical cut. And you know, talking about the aspect ratio, you can tell when you watch this, because a lot of the footage was used, a good chunk of it in the theatrical version, and you can see where they pushed in to fill up the aspect ratio, the widescreen, where they, because the headroom with
there's a great.
with
Did
some
you watch
characters
the
and stuff.
Red Letter Media where they showed the differences? Where they showed where the Josh Whedon is like cropped 16:9, but it's the same shot, and you can see like all it was is that there's more space on everybody's heads, like on purpose when they film it, so they can crop it there for a 16:9.
Yeah.
So
they the color grading.
I'm pretty sure there was
color
a
grading's
shot
like
with,
crazy,
with Wonder Woman that was probably like that's kind of a like looking up at her, and she's, you know, her skirt's kind of open.
Oh, her scene.
I think that was probably supposed to be cut off on a 16:9.
Her scene at the beginning was awesome.
I liked her scene later.
When she's
kicked ass. She was beating them up way harder than she was in the Whedon one.
Yeah,
killing those guys.
Then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's rated R.
Fast, you're dead.
Oh yes, it was rated R too. Yeah.
All right, but we're not here to spoil it, I guess.
Everyone's
but
seen
go
Justice
see
League.
or watch
Well,
it.
Andrew hasn't. Never mind. Moving on.
Well, so Mock, sort of a rant related to what you were doing earlier.
Wow.
Have any of you guys seen on Netflix the last Blockbuster video?
Yes, I was going to talk about that.
I rented it like a month ago for $5.
It's like it's like Netflix is making a show about what killed Blockbuster, which was kind of sort of Netflix, but they did kind of talk that out. Like they said it really wasn't, but it was. Come on.
It was and it wasn't. Yeah. It was a lot of bad corporate.
But that's in and it's still there, I think, right?
Yeah, in Bend, Oregon.
I
thought COVID took it out.
That's where Vector Volcano is. The arcade
there.
that's up there. Trying to remember the guy's name now. He went to a couple of the Green Fests, and he owns a arcade there in Bend, Oregon.
Oh, is that the guy? That's the guy that bought one of my fire escapes.
Yes.
God.
Oh,
I can't remember his name right now.
No, I can't.
Yes.
Brent. No.
Brett or Brent. It is. You're right.
It's
really
with a B.
close.
His number's in my phone.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Yeah, I really like.
Who did not see the documentary yet? So
I actually just watched it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, so did I. It was like
I just watched it like yesterday, I think.
The day before Sunday morning.
Yeah, I watched it a month ago and I paid. I could have waited. But I loved Blockbuster.
It's weird to see all the colors again and everything, and
I like the guy they talked from Bend. Like he goes, we're kind of behind here. Hell, we had a Radio Shack till like a month ago.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to say like, man, we still got an 80s arcade here, in town. But it was, it popped up a few years ago.
That's interesting though, because I kept thinking, we had a Blockbuster, but it came in pretty late in St. Cloud where I grew up. But we had plenty of other franchises, a lot of mom and pop ones, but the closest thing to Blockbuster we had was Premiere Video, and then it changed titles to Hollywood Video, and there was like three of them.
We had a Hollywood Video.
That was pretty close to Blockbuster. So like throughout this movie, because I went a couple times, but I would go to like like the video rental store that's connected to the grocery store and stuff like that. So it's kind of like they're very similar, but
well, the thing is that there's some videos you could not get at Blockbuster. They would refuse to have them. Like the hardcore Faces of Death. Stuff. I remember going specialty to go get that at a mom and pop shop because they would carry it.
Yeah.
And just because out of curiosity, everyone was talking about it in high school and stuff. I gotta check this out. Gotta
you
see
guys
them
have
eating the monkey
throat?
brains.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like somewhere like rural that doesn't have really good internet that I could see, that they still, my streaming high speed's expensive here and we don't do it. So it's just easier to go get videos. And
I think that's why Redbox has been such a big thing
Yeah.
for so
Oh,
long
that's
too.
true. That's right.
Yeah.
I feel
was
like
wondering if
Redbox is
Alaska
what
has
killed
terrible internet, and that's
Blockbuster.
why.
Because you could get a movie for $1. It was a 24-hour rental, and it was 99 cents or whatever.
Yep.
Then they eventually upped it to $1.50 or $2, where it was.
Wasn't that a dumb decision of Blockbuster of no more late fees? I was like,
oh my god! I'm like, you really want to put the nail in the coffin?
Put a nail in it already? Yeah, it's like you done.
I think about the only motivator would be like if you want to rent something new, you have to return whatever you have. Like,
but what used to piss me off though is you use the slot to return the movie. Well, I would use a slot. I would turn in the movies on time. And then the next time I go into Blockbuster, they'd say those movies were late, and they'd want me to pay for them. And I know I turned them in on time because I did it on the way to work. Because
their person didn't check it till the next.
So someone didn't check it in late because because it was they were late doing it.
Yeah.
So
They're getting high in the parking lot.
So my aversion to late fees is so strong that when I went into labor with my daughter, I made my then husband stop at the video rental store so we could drop off the videos because I was not going to incur a late fee, especially if it was false labor.
I'm not paying that $1.29.
Nope.
You give birth in this car before I give them another dime.
Yeah. He was like, okay, if you don't have another contraction between here and the stoplight before we get there, I sure as hell wouldn't have admitted if I was. I would have been just like, no, just keep driving. It's fine.
Well, in that documentary, they said something like the founder of Netflix, that was one of his motivating factors to start Netflix was the late fee fees. He had at Blockbuster. Yeah. It was like a $40 late fee or something because he had it for so long.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with the remember the rewind fee they would for VHS? It was 99-cent rewind fee, and
when they first started carrying, at least with a lot of the stores around where I grew up, they had when they first started carrying video games for rental. You would sometimes find the cartridges with the games that would have please rewind on them. Because whoever is just like just kind of oblivious. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some interesting things about Blockbuster they didn't cover. Like they didn't cover, well, maybe it's because it wasn't that relevant, but stuff like video games for American audiences from Japan. They got pissed off that people like Blockbuster, especially, they were renting out games, and so Nintendo wasn't making sales. So what a lot of Japanese companies did is they made the games way harder on the American side than it was in Japan. So
crazy.
There's some games out there where that's why there would be no continues and stuff like that, but there would be on the Japan version. And there's also something they didn't touch on at all, which I was hoping they would. Me with censorship, is Blockbuster was known to censor some of their more racy films. I think.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I don't remember all the movies, but I heard it was certain ones that they would get in. They would crop down certain scenes out of. Maybe they're too violent.
Beetlejuice is my one for that, because I actually bought when they had the spare copies. They do sell videos from time to time.
I remember that. Yeah, I bought them,
and I bought a Beetlejuice from them, and they specifically cut out the scene where he kicks over the tree in the model. He turns around and he says, "Nice fucking model," and he grabs his nuts.
Oh, they cut that out.
So in the Blockbuster version, he just kicks over the tree, and then it cuts to the next scene.
Oh, wow! See, I knew they did stuff like that.
Is that still in?
That's 100% confirmed.
Yeah, they did that to a lot of different movies.
Beetlejuice, is it on there?
I heard
for sure. It's only the Blockbuster version that's like that.
I heard scenes were cut from 9.5 Weeks with Kim Basinger. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. That was racy for the time.
Yeah.
But
Basic Instincts all blurred out, like a Japanese mosaic.
Really? Wow.
No, I'm kidding about that one.
Yeah,
That pisses me off.
And they got away with that because they were so big, and that pissed me off when I found that out later. And when they did touch on the no porn section, where they talk about you push the beads and they make noise like,
and they'll have bells attached on the top of the beads even. Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
That was one of the reasons I remember they were talking about why Betamax went away. That was part of it, is that the porn industry was doing, because they said there was like 3 reasons. One, that VH tapes were longer, or you could put more on them. And then somebody said, and then I also that Sony held the rights and they weren't giving it up right away. And then someone else will come out with their own. I don't know if that was true, but then they go, there's a reason no one ever talks about is the porn industry was on VHS. So the guys in the front were pushing VHS because all the porn's on the VHS and they get a lot of runs.
The porn industry boomed with the VHS because you don't have to be like Pee Wee Herman anymore. You go to the theater,
go to the theater.
Then you have your, or how about the old stag films? Like, remember that movie Bachelor Party where they're playing it on a like
a 9mm projector?
Yeah, like an old.
They do that in Porky's 2 as well.
Thing. What's that?
In Porky's 2, there's a scene where they're playing a porno film. It's all the racist Ku Klux Klan guys that are watching. Yeah.
In Queens, when my little local, I lived in Astoria, Queens for 5 years, and my little local store at the end of this not even a block, had all VHS. So I had to walk maybe 4 or 5 blocks to the main street where they had the other, when I got a DVD player in 98. And I went in, to rent DVDs. And I'm like, I remember asking the guy, I go, oh, wow, they got porn? He goes, the guy's like, yeah, people love it. Go right to the scene, man. I go, oh. I was like amazed. Like, they've already got porn on DVD? He's like, oh, yeah, dude, it's the rage.
You can pause it anywhere.
It's crystal clear and a pause, no tracking problems.
Yeah. Finish where you want.
Yeah, it was so funny.
That's where you want. My living room.
I loved the video store, though. That was always my jam. I always loved movies, and it was the experience. It's like Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah.
Like going to pick it out.
Any video store was like that.
In Queens, you know, it's like my little VHS, finding old tape, it's like, oh, I haven't seen this in forever. And, because we had cable, we didn't have, we didn't pay for pay stations or anything.
Yeah.
And then, I loved it.
What did you think about I didn't even know this either. It's something that was interesting in the documentary was how Blockbuster totally edged out the mom and pop shops by getting that killer discount on buying top-notch movies at super low price, like $2.
It was a shared revenue.
That's nuts.
Oh, so
rev share. Yeah,
because they get like 100 copies.
Yeah, well, and plus they have a million stores too. Right. So
that was one of their slogans. Like you always we're gonna have the new movie.
Yeah, whatever the releases, they buy 50.
There's like a wall of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you wouldn't want to go to the mom and pop because it'd probably be out. So yeah, you go to Blockbuster because they had like a whole wall.
You'd go to a store or a place like Blockbuster for a new release, but you'd go to mom and pops for the obscure weird shit that you want. Yeah,
exactly.
Like if you're looking for some like horror movie or something, those were always the better places to go than Blockbuster.
Yeah, because they got the weird stuff in there. Stuff that went right to video sometimes, or like I said, Faces of Death. Or
anybody ever YouTube? There's got to be some VHS collectors out there.
Oh yeah,
because not everything was transferred to DVD.
No, but you could fill your room for not much. Like, because 10 tapes for $1. Like if you're really into like the cover, like I would just love this. I got
the box art.
Yes, just
the weird box art. Some of it's really bad.
Like we have arcades.
Dave,
I won't be surprised that shit's expensive.
They stopped doing their podcast, but Preston was the guy's name.
Was that Arcade Junkies or whatever? It was.
Yes, that sounds right. Yeah,
something.
So he really got into the whole VHS thing. And he had like hundreds of them, hundreds of VHS.
Could you imagine? You could get like thousands.
Yeah,
if you were into this for
me too.
For like 10 cents a piece or something.
Stuff that didn't get transferred. Some of it.
There's like this antique
or
toy store thing, and I asked the guy's got I go, do people buy VHS? He goes, yeah, we had some guy the other day, like 10 of them, because I was same conversation. I go, I would love to see you could have a Blockbuster video for not a lot of money. It's getting harder and harder to get them, but you could still it would just be amazing just to go pull the tape out, alphabetical order. I'm going to start Google or YouTube.
When we got, I was really excited when we got a media play in St. Cloud because that was like the store equivalent to like a block or a rental place because they just had walls and walls of videos, and if they didn't have it, they could order it for you, and you'd always pay a little bit of a premium, whereas like a VHS tape might be $20, theirs would be like 27 or something, but you could get just about anything, pre-internet, you could get just about anything and they would have the big box sets for like slasher movies and stuff, like like it was amazing. And I would just spend equal amounts of time there just looking at everything, and it's like, holy shit. That was actually the first place that I remember seeing widescreen. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I think that's where I got my big blue box set, the old Star Wars VHSs.
Oh,
Yeah,
in the widescreen, with the little hologram cover.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. It was like $100.
That's one of my things I have in
$120,
storage. Because
I
still
have them on VHS.
Yeah.
Me too. I have two
Yeah,
tubs in the
Shot
garage of those VHS tapes.
Exactly.
Some stuff that didn't get transferred. That I have this one that I got to get it digitally done somehow. I don't know what company does it. If you guys know, let me know, because there's this one tape I have that would be funny to add to Andrew's thing that we could watch one of these nights. It's called I don't know if I should talk about this here, but it's called
Do it.
Brawlin' Broads.
It's like mud wrestling, or
I'm on
Is that
board
like
already.
bum fights?
So what it is, I picked it up by the creators who were at the Comic-Con sitting at a table selling it direct to people, right? So it was like, that wasn't even in stores or anything. So, hey, Arcade Danger.
Hey, Liz.
So it's called Brawlin' Broads. And what it was is that they would go to, it's kind of like bum fights, but this was with people, two white trash girls that hated each other's guts. Usually they lived in a trailer park. Almost all of them were. And then they would take them and they would just put them in a room, and they would take everything out of the room like that could break, like lamps and tables and shit. And they would just let them go at it. And the only rule was no eye gouging. So like the girls would scratch and kick.
But they could poke any other orifice, huh?
Oh, it was so crazy, the fighting, because it was so like real. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. I'm done.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
And they
Very
had
entertaining.
They had about like
can see,
9
it
fights in
looks
this
fantastic.
thing, and they were all fun.
You just need some kind of capture card that'll take in composite or RCA.
Yeah, I had to get a VCR first of all. Then
Oh,
you gotta
I got like 4.
I still have
You
my
want me to mail
VCR.
one?
I
I
still have
got
my
4
nice
VCRs,
forehead.
a Betamax, an 8
Do
millimeter.
you have a way to transfer it, Andrew?
I don't have a capture card. Actually, maybe I might have an old video card that has.
I still
inputs
have
for it.
my external Firewire boxes. That
Isn't there like a? I used to do it back a long time ago when I first started my job. We used to have a device that plugged in, into a coaxial cable into this box, and that would go out to a USB thing. And it would go into the computer. And it would just capture it as you play it off the.
It'd be real time.
You have to do it real time for sure.
Yeah,
and
that's how
mine was a Canopus brand box, and it would go. It would take any composite signal or S video, and it would connect it FireWire, but it would capture it in the DV codec. You remember like mini DV stuff,
right?
And so it would be a great transfer for like DVD. But like if you want to up-res it from there, you'd have to take that file and probably use like an After Effects plugin, like Frames or something. If you want to get it to like Blu-ray, and those, to be fair, like those plugins on After Effects are pretty damn amazing, because I think it's Red Giant, I think.
Oh, Red Giant, yeah, we use their stuff.
But that would take a fucking long time.
What is it? It's going to come out. The resolution is going to be like 480 or whatever it is on VHS.
320 by 240.
Yeah, it's tiny, so that's another bummer part. But yeah, there's some funny stuff out there that that stuff would just never.
Mark, you mentioned Faces of Death. I mean, you actually could rent that back in the day. Right?
Yeah, I rented it too.
Yeah,
I remember
that's how I saw it. I rented it. There's like multiple.
I was like, I would pick out movies like, I want to see this one. She had no clue. Okay,
1, 2, and 3.
I'm like 13, 14 years old.
Some of it looked like total bullshit, but some of it looked fucking real.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Another one. Do you remember? It was called Mondo Magic.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
That one was, I recall it being kind of brutal and graphic too, but I don't know how much of it was real or fake.
Mondo Magic. That sounds really familiar.
But that was
that transfer
box? Video rental.
Yeah, that's the one I had there.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I still have it. It worked.
Mine was like this little blue
good,
box that was like shaped like a shell, like a little blue shell.
The nice thing about this was that it was all the hardware was in the box, the external box, and then you just needed to have FireWire. Yeah, FireWire connection. But I did so much stuff that way. And the cool thing about this one too, Mock, is that you could bypass Macrovision with it too.
Nice.
So if you hold the little silver button down here, this blue LED will eventually, I think it blinks, and then you know that it's set, and you wouldn't have it would bypass all that stuff. So if you had
the security stuff, or the screen would go dark and then go bright,
the saturation,
again,
all the shit.
Again,
yeah, that
hated
stuff.
that. Yeah, that was the copyright shit they started putting on like about 5 years into the VHS world, and people started duping, rentals. So they could get their $10.
Oh, my dad was all on top of that, because when we owned one VCR, and then my mom was working at the college. So for free she could rent or lease a VCR, and she did that with like a video camera and stuff too. But so once in a great while she'd bring another VCR home, and my dad would just go nuts
Yeah, I remember the first time my dad put in a movie to dupe, and it was doing that dark to bright thing.
Oh,
what's going on here? So we went to, Radio Shack or whatever, and bought the best cables you can get.
Oh yeah,
that
quality,
that would
like monster
it.
cables.
No.
Yeah, it's not a quite. Yeah, it's a thing they introduced in the Signal. I think. So what I understand is that like TVs will just basically adjust for it, and they don't really care how good it is. I think Buddy described it as being like, cats are really finicky eaters, and dogs will eat anything you put in front of them. And so like the dog is like your TV. It's like it doesn't care. It'll just take, oh, I don't care. Just give me what you got. And the cat just like sniffing. It's like, no. Yeah. So two VCRs talking to each other, they're a little finicky about the signal that they get.
Yeah.
As opposed to the TV. The TV doesn't give a shit. And it's just Macrovision, fucking quality protected by Macrovision or whatever.
And it definitely wasn't, even after that had been out for a while, Macrovision. You could not every tape, not every movie did it. You could see like the ones that didn't
have to test it.
Like low budget stuff. There's no way they're gonna pay for that shit. Yeah.
No, the porn industry didn't. Don't ask me how I know. Some of the like lesser known or like B titles didn't have the money. It cost money probably to do that for your tapes, So not that it matters now, but back then they were like.
I'm glad that they talked about the smell, because even before they got to that part of the documentary, I was like, they gotta talk, because there's a distinct smell when you walk
inside
into
a
those stores.
Blockbuster or any video store.
Any video store.
Some of the mom and pop ones, they would smoke in the store. It smelled like cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
So to kind of tie it to video game stuff a little bit, the Hollywood Video. I don't know if you guys outside of California had Hollywood Video.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They were called
one of my favorites.
They were first premiere videos, then Hollywood videos. Yeah.
To me, Hollywood Video was always the better deal than Blockbuster. Blockbuster
better
always
game selection too.
Yes, and games. So, and then with the games, they would run these specials. Like it was a used game that maybe didn't rent out that often anymore, and they would have them marked down, or they would do like a buy two get one free kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of games.
I remember
like
that too, Gak. Yeah, that was.
And,
I always went there for looking for games.
Xbox, PlayStation 1, maybe a little bit of Wii, the first Wii.
So I didn't go there at that time.
But when they closed up the Hollywood Video, when they closed up, they had them like crazy marked down, like 75 to 90% off. And I bought a whole bunch of games. Like I'm like, I don't even know what this game is. Never saw it before, but it's like $3. Buy it,
Yeah, no biggie if it's no big. I love the black guy in the documentary where he's like, Blockbuster was like starting to go out of business. I went and rented a whole bunch of GameCube games.
Yeah.
They're not getting them back.
And then he was all making the comments about dispensaries and stuff.
I kept shaking my head at that guy. I'm like, oh, he's talking about like I would do it this way, and then and I would turn it into like the 80s and 90s and drugs, and man, I'm like, where are you going with
I know.
Yeah, he wanted to turn the Blockbuster into a / dispensary.
Yeah, so you can tell he
and you have all bunch of snacks.
Old videos. But yeah, so anyways, a couple of the games I got. So fast forward maybe 8 or 10 years, and I'm like, I need to get rid of some of this stuff. So I was starting to eBay stuff, and looking it up. And I'm like, holy shit! Like one of the games, I can't remember now if it was Xbox or the Wii, but it was like a Godzilla game, and I paid like $3 for it. It went for like $70 or something on eBay.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Like a used game that I paid for $3 for it, like gosh, crazy.
That is true though. They had a lot of obscure stuff that at the time you didn't realize what it was worth, but you definitely you wouldn't be able to find it like in a Target or any to buy, and you'd end up going there because they had that stuff. Movies too, it was kind of the same thing, but yeah, definitely. I bought my first used game from Premiere Video right or before it turned into Hollywood Video, and they were just getting into selling used Nintendo games, and they had this little like bin thing, and there would maybe at any given time be like 3 games in there. And so like the first game I ever got for Nintendo was ironically Q*bert. I didn't know it was an arcade game, but I was just like, well, this and no instruction manual, no box. It's just like, oh, this looks neat.
Just the game.
Yeah.
Andrew and I were talking about
taking
during
your
movie
chances.
night that the sad part is that I think Andrew's right about this, is that within the next 5 years, the DVDs and Blu-rays are probably going to be gone because
physical media is almost
physical media is going to be gone,
there already.
And then we're going to have to deal with like the censorship in movies and all that kind of thing. And what version of it are you going to have available? Are you going to get the director's cut available to you, or only
how do you
the
preserve
theatrical
it?
version?
Well,
what happened to the
if you
DVD
buy it,
extras?
do you really own it?
Yeah, there's no extras anymore, which I kind of miss that stuff.
You're just going to get the Disney version.
Yeah, you're gonna get
even the stuff right now that lets you
Daryl Hannah's butt ever again.
Yeah, no more of that. Gone forever.
Well, even the stuff
They're
where it's
gonna do
like
deepfakes,
Amazon and Spotify,
where
where
becomes multiracial too, right? They just change everyone's nationality and all that. Yeah.
But the stuff where you're supposed to be able to play it offline, like you can download and play it, but you have to use their software. It's like, well, that doesn't make me feel very secure with it, because what's to say that all of a sudden that software is no longer available, or that something changes and
or they
you
pull
can't.
it off the store or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it bums me out when you find your favorite movie on Netflix, you put it in your list, and then you remember to go back to go watch it, and it's still in your list, and you go click on it. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
There's something where it used to be, if it was in your list, that you could still play it. Was that a loophole? I thought somebody told me that they got rid of.
Don't have that anymore.
That was like if it was in your list and they got rid of it, you could still watch it.
No,
I never
would still
did that.
be there. You could still see
the
it.
one thing I've done, and you guys probably know
rent.
this, I'm pretty sure it still works, is like with DirecTV when they do these special weekend where it's like HBO and Cinemax free all weekend.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm like DVR, like recording all these movies, like
yeah,
and then watch them later.
Yeah, I used to do that. I'd just let it run all day, all weekend, and then just fast forward the movies that don't interest me.
Right? Yeah.
So the same thing with the recording on VCRs.
Yeah. My TiVo
when
would
we
be
first
all
got
filled.
cable. Yeah.
Dude, I remember I stayed up recording Twilight Zone on fucking Betamax, it was on VHS, I think. I recorded all these episodes because they were out at like 3 a.m, and I had 2 tapes, like 16 episodes of Twilight Zone. I loved it. And I'm looking for the other one, and I see because I popped out the fucking do not record, and I see a fucking piece of Scotch tape on this tape. I go, was this fucking it? And my brother recorded like fucking Madonna videos. And did you realize how long? Like
my dad would do shit like that.
He
needed a tape for something.
No, it's kind of like
I didn't
I don't know
take
if
the
everyone
tab
saw
off.
the Everybody Loves Raymond, where he recorded over his wedding video, recorded the Super Bowl.
Or if you're being real anal and you'd stop the recording during commercial breaks and resume it, and you thought you're doing such a good job because you're cutting out the commercials, but then you'd watch the tape and there'd be like a little tracking problem or something.
Or you forget to hit record.
Record again, and you miss like a little piece.
I totally did that. Yep.
And I'm like, why did I do this?
I need to
just
find
let
the
it go
VHS.
and let it run.
Yeah.
I used to. Well, I only did it a couple times. There was a group of us BMXers around 1990, 91. The one guy had a VHS video camera recorder, so he would record us all riding, and then just let us borrow the tape so we could record. And but we would borrow his camera recorder too, because that's how you could record it, right? You know, you're like playing it on the TV and recording it with your other VCR.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to edit a little video, like I'm gonna put some like, you know, Megadeth or Slayer or you know, something hard metal, you know, band playing in the background.
Like you're holding up your like boombox to it while
pretty much that's exactly
Yeah.
And so but this was like I had it like for the weekend, right? So this is like Sunday morning because you know my parents and brother were still asleep or whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna get this done before they come out. And like before you start recording, it's like whatever's on TV before you know change the channel or whatever. And then when I watched the edit later, it was like some televangelist, like a church dude, like he's like holding the Bible out. But it's like to Slayer music or something. And then it cuts to like me riding. Yeah, I gotta find the tape. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
Oh,
it was like totally by accident. You know, like
Say cheese.
I thought you were gonna say you accidentally deleted the thing because you're trying to put on sound to it or something.
Right. No.
And everyone got pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Oh god,
it was only for myself. It wasn't for other people. It was just like, here, you can borrow the tape and just make a recording of it. But I was like, at this time, I'm going to try to make a little video out of it, you know, because I never had 2 VCRs at one time at that, you know, time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you were doing home videos even back then.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly.
It just didn't involve beer. It was
right. Yes, this is definitely pre-beer.
It's a different type of different type of pairing. It's yeah. It's a Catholic church and heavy metal. Yeah, I do miss the big event that it used to be going to rent stuff. And that one guy, he actually, it was funny because I was like, oh man, even when I was in high school, the whole like he actually hit it on the head. The get a pizza and get a movie, and I did that so many times. Yeah.
It was a date thing for me in high school. I would take my date. We would go and look for a movie together, and they were exactly right. Like you can tell what type of girl it is by what they pick out. You gotta sometimes stick with them. So you don't want to watch that.
When my wife and I first
I'm not getting laid tonight. Watching Driving Miss Daisy.
We'd go rent movies and
nice. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, I never even thought about that. Like, it's been so long. I mean,
well, I'm trying to think in my mind, like what movies would I have rented? But it would have been like, whatever, Lost Boys, but we saw it in the theater. Let's see it again.
Oh yeah.
Or stuff. Cause I'm thinking, cause that's when I was in,
usually get at least 2 movies
86, 87.
Well, that's the difference between then and now as far as movie selection goes. It was fun to look around for an hour and try to decide what you want to watch. Now it's a fucking chore. Now it's like, God, there's nothing that looks interesting, and before you know it, it's like, well, I just killed it in 90 minutes and I didn't find a jack shit that was interesting. Yeah.
Well, I made my wife watch 2 80s movies over the last month, maybe. And it's funny because one of them, oh my God, both of them I still have on VHS because I literally just went in this bin of shit I had because my son wanted a yo-yo. And I go, I have a yo-yo in it. And these are the VHS tapes that I saved from stuff I threw out. I saved The Last Starfighter on VHS just because
nice.
Slap Shot because it's kind of a cool cover. The movie Class. Class with and also Vision Quest, which is with Matthew Modine, which is in like one of those big, those plastic like cases. You know what I mean? That I don't know what your question.
The clamshells, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Clamshell case, yeah.
But we watched Vision Quest and Class both within
Andrew McCarthy and Rob Lowe.
And then I'm like. She ended up liking both of them.
Sleeping with his mom.
And her face was the greatest. She was like, "Oh, I forgot," because she'd watched it like years ago with me, and then she liked Vision Quest. But the soundtrack for Vision Quest is excellent. It's got Journey with
Vision Quest. I know I've seen
Wrestler.
It was Matthew Modine, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's a wrestler. Yeah, it's a good sleeper. It's just it's the whole. He's gonna win. My wife's like, the soundtrack of this movie is great. She liked it. She enjoyed it.
It's been surprised. It's been an interesting experience experiment, maybe. I don't know what you want to call it, but Andrew and I and everybody else, Carrie and Jim, we watch these movies on movie night, but we watch, them, some of these 80s films with a few younger audience members, like Gabby and Jesse and some other people. And it's interesting to hear their perspective on it. And, a lot of times they really like the movies a lot, they're like, like They Live, who knew that they were going to love that movie,
Oh yeah.
I just watched it.
It's still a great film.
I saw it in the
pertinent
theater.
today.
I saw it in the theater. It's
so relevant.
It's so great.
It
A lot
is.
of bubble gum.
Yeah. If they were gonna like remake that movie, which God, I hope they don't.
It shouldn't.
But if they were, what could you really do different in that movie? That what would you do?
You'd have to add like a cyber computer technology element to it. But like now it's our phones that talk.
I know
to us
that the gold
Yeah.
watches.
Yeah, and
I've
the
got one that
phones
can
keep you
see.
brainwashed, maybe.
Yeah.
And you put the phone through a special sleeve that, like, oh, the signal's gone. Don't stand too close to that guy. He's got his phone without a cover. Yeah, it'd probably be something like that, right?
Oh no, this person hasn't been vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it's just kind of been fun to hear their point of view and stuff, and and most of the 80s films that we've watched again, they've liked, so that's been kind of cool.
So did I send you all that that Escape from New York?
Yeah.
What he said?
Snake.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I saw that one before too.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Carrie, did I send that to you?
Someone else.
I don't think I got that one.
It was just.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's where I stole
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's where I saw it, but I could not
Yeah.
stop laughing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love the internet. I love stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah,
'Cause I just, that's a bad movie too, but I like it. I like
it.
I
It's
love
a
the
bad
opening
good movie,
piece.
maybe.
Yeah,
but
I like
Yeah.
the opening.
It's a
piece.
good
the
I like
sequel's bad. The first
Yeah.
one's great.
LA is stupid.
But you like Snake getting his COVID shot, huh?
No, I thought it was the greatest.
The
Like,
CGI in the second movie is so bad. Oh man,
When he's like surfing down the LA River. Is that the part
that's
there?
bad too. No, in the underwater part with the fake CGI shark and the fake city, it's just I could do a better job than that by myself than whatever they came up with. It was horrible.
Okay, so where does it compare compared to Sharknado? Is it
Sharknado's
above?
better.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wow.
Yeah. And Sharknado's like purposely, I think, some
Oh,
of those,
bad,
like
yeah.
I
meant to be
freaking
bad.
love Sharknado.
Yeah.
I forgot how many of them I've seen. Certainly at least 3, might be 4.
Oh man.
I'm a
Is
Sharknado
Ian
fan.
Zierning or whatever his name is? Any and all of them? Is he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
Those-
all the ones
those
I've
helicopter-
That was
CGI
Tara
thing in one
Reid's second
part.
chance at life.
seen. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? When the CG it doesn't even match the same sort of lighting and stuff in the room, and it just stands out. It doesn't
No
look right at
shadows.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no shadows on it, and it's like lit wrong. It's all bright compared to the rest of the stuff. Like early '90s CG was like
Mangoliers.
Mangoliers is a perfect example. Yeah, it's just
so bad.
it's just pasted on garbage.
No budget. Technology
TV
wasn't
budget
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think.
Look, I found this
JPEG
JPEG
made for
image.
TV.
It's got a. I made a transparent background, so now it's okay. Just throw it in there.
It's like old internet GIFs with like the blocky outlines that are like.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
like, wow, looks great.
It's totally where they rendered those monsters without even looking at the scenes to try to even make the lighting match up at all. It was just like
Yeah.
they made it somewhere else and then slapped it over it, and okay, let's call it a day.
Just add a layer and throw it on there.
Got a layer, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone eat some potato chips next to the mic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Done.
Stick a
In the
celery.
can.
So bad. Go look up Langoliers, everybody. CGI on YouTube, and you get a good
I remember
laugh.
watching that.
I think it's a Stephen King story.
It
It's a
is.
Stephen
Yeah.
King story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that too.
Yeah, it was like a mini series. You had to like
Mhm.
tune in like every
It was a
week.
two-parter, I believe. No,
Two? I thought it
was
was
a series.
It's a 3.
Was it
Yeah.
three?
I thought
Yeah,
more
it
than
It was a
two.
long fucking thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I watched it
Yeah.
as a movie, a long whole thing. So
It wasn't as long as The Stand, but it was in multiple parts.
Stan had some good parts in it though, but this was just
So some of the premise was kind of cool, like the whole thing, like trapped in the airplane, they land, and like everything's like kind of dead. And
wasn't it like an alternate
fuel
reality
doesn't
or
work.
something?
I don't fucking remember.
And then Langoliers are there to like delete it because it's not
to clean up after.
Yeah, it's a
the
cleanup
time moved
crew
on.
basically.
Yeah.
The cleaner. They're eating everything. It
They
just
could hear it like in
disappears when
the
they eat it
distance.
too.
Yeah, just literally
Yeah.
like it just goes white
It's
or
just
something
gone.
like that.
It goes into another dimension.
She's a squirter.
Wasn't there like a Twilight Zone that was about that, about like the movement of time, and like there was like a whole team of people who had to build each minute
Oh, weird.
You're right. Yeah.
of time, and like someone slips
remember
out by
that.
going down an alley that he wasn't supposed to go down, and then he slips into like the construction of the next minute, or like 10 minutes.
Oh, weird. I don't think I've seen that.
I don't think it's a Twilight Zone, but it could be like Outer
Maybe like
Limits.
an
or
Outer
something.
Limits, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
that's like the
Limits,
Twilight
yeah.
Zone movie. That's a zone. No, man, it's a limits. No, that's a zone.
Yeah.
Limits.
Limits, zones.
That was
It's
the
like
beginning
that.
scene.
Was that the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror where Homer's like, it's like that zony thing in Twilight.
Zony limit.
Could have been an amazing stories too.
Twilight Zone was
Oh,
more
I
like
loved Amazing Stories.
weird stuff, but Outer Limits was more horror based. I thought
They
They
definitely had more of a horror
Sci-fi,
aspect.
too.
monsters and things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aliens.
A
Yeah.
lot of aliens and monsters. And
Yeah.
people turn into monsters. And
The episode that Andrew was talking about is called A Matter of Minutes, and it is Twilight Zone.
oh, there you go.
Nicely
Oh
done.
no
On the
shit!
wiki.
All right.
Well,
cool.
Matter of
what season
minutes?
is
You get the
Twilight
point.
Zone?
Yeah, I gotta look
This
that
is
up.
like whose line? And point to 34K.
Don't know anything, but I can search for things
I
on the
love
internet.
that story.
Yeah.
Are you still playing your Twilight? I was almost at Outer Limits pinball. Are you playing your Twilight Zone pinball still?
Well, so I just picked up a new game, but yes, it is my
Good
it is my favorite. Yeah, right. It's so I
Do you
so
want to? Well, I
I'm
don't
not
know if
gonna-
you want to show us.
I'm not even going to try to go in the back into the garage. No, so I picked up a fun house.
Oh, awesome! You've been wanting one of those.
You know, I've had that kind of set up for a while, and then finally, it was
Wrong one. I'm rusty. I'm really rusty.
Oh, that's really cool, Carrie.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a mess. So it's definitely the game I've gotten that's in the roughest shape. So I'm learning new things. I was thinking like, wow, this is really the opposite of Jim's Wonka. Like you got the one, and I'm like, there's something to be said for that, because there was one that was for sale on Craigslist for quite a bit more than when I paid for this one, because I bought a game from a route, and I was like, there's something to be said for paying top dollar with all the bells and whistles and home use only and all sorts of
It's
stuff.
called
What if you were going to have a shot?
Although,
how much it would
you're like
cost,
Lord of the
like-
Rings was home use only, and
Yeah. And I paid good money for that.
No,
So
I mean, it was a
the-
decent price, but
The Funhouse was on a commercial like thing or something probably. Or
yeah, I think it's lived most of its life on route. The guy I
On
got
route,
it from,
yeah.
who is actually one of our club friends. He Slackmo. I mean,
Yep.
Jack, you got
okay.
games from
He
Slackmo too.
actually texted me the other day. He's all, hey, I just saw Carrie. I was like, really? Oh, wow, cool. He's like, yeah, I gave her the or whatever.
I sold her my
I
sold her my
POS
shitty
Funhouse.
Funhouse.
my cracked out fun house.
oh
that I
well,
was about to
that's
throw in a
done.
dumpster.
Woo!
Yeah.
What a sucker! Yeah,
I loaded on that.
Whew,
It's not
man.
NOS, it's
Let her
POS.
clean
never
out the
thought I'd
rat
get rid of that
turds.
thing.
He gave me the option. He's like, "Do you want me to clean? Do you want me to clean it? Do you want me?" I'm like, "No, as long as it works." And he fixed Rudy. That was my like. I just wanted to make sure that
okay.
everything basically fixed. I mean, if there's some broken switches or like, listen, I can do
That
small
stuff's
things.
fixable. It's like how's the playfield? Is it like really worn, or does it look okay? Or the
Oh, no, it's
inserts,
worn.
they like it's stuck down, like slipping in, or
So the
crack.
inserts,
You can see through it.
The inserts are all okay. Like they're fine in terms of the way that they're level and things like that. Like none of them looked cracked or that I've noticed so far. I'm starting from
or
the
paint
bottom and
chipped
working
off
my
of
way up.
them.
But like the
Yeah.
decals are worn off and like dirt. Like I thought it was dirty, but I think it's more than dirty. I think it's like maybe the worn whatever. Like because I was like, oh, is this like how like when there's a lot of dirt on something, it kind of has like that griminess to it. And so I was like, oh, so this is just some grime to clean off. And I'm like, no, I think this is more than grime.
It's paint.
I don't
missing paint, maybe.
I don't know what it is. I actually need to do some more
bald
research.
trails.
Harry, if you paid for someone to shop it, would you still be okay? Like, I mean, price wise, like I got it for this. If I like, I don't know how much.
I have no idea what it costs to have somebody shop something.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's part of the joy of it. Like, I'd be like, I don't mind doing it. Some of the, I mean, there's some worn stuff. Yeah. So like trying to figure out like the insert, like the inserts. Like, is it, should I, is that just a matter of like cleaning, sanding? Do I have to clear coat afterwards? Like, and the ones that like jump out are actually not. I actually took a picture, which I can send.
What year was Funhouse?
90
something.
Oh, 90.
Yeah, it's 1990.
Oh, really?
Oh, 90.
All right.
And it's the same exact layout as Tron Legacy Pinball. That's the weird part. It's exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
Orange Whip pointed that out to me. I'm like, no. And I looked at him.
Tron
like,
House.
Yeah, it is. The only
Does
thing
it make you not like it as much?
No, instead of Rudy, it's the gem shot. It actually goes through. It doesn't just stop at Rudy and go into his mouth. It just goes through there. But it's this, mine has a spinner in it. So there are some differences. But as far as the layout of where the ramps are and everything, it's like the same. It's so weird.
So this gives you an idea of like, but this is probably the worst spot on the play field.
That's clear coat.
Yeah,
that's worn out.
Rubbed down through the paint.
Yep.
Okay, so then it's a matter of
you're gonna have to touch up the paint under the bumper. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you want to go there.
Yeah, which I probably won't.
It looks like you have a clear decal that went over. You see that line that
right
goes
here?
Through? Yeah, that's someone's put down something so when it goes through those bumpers, it won't wear away the paint. So you can see where the worn is down below it, where they didn't have a decal cover. Like that's like an acetate sticker. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like there's maybe an 1.5 inch length there that's worn, but above and below looks like it was covered somehow.
Yeah, it was covered. My Tron has a few of those in the high traffic areas, as you say. As I say. I don't think it's that bad though.
Oh no, it's not. Like
this all looks great up here.
It's an old game.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's 19. Yeah, it's 19, and it's been on route. Like it's lived life. And I was starting
spray it all with triple thick.
But I would totally to get that to clean up those lenses.
Take those bumpers out and clean them, and then just put them back in there. And then while they're out, maybe clean around the hole.
I mean, we're looking at it zoom on the. You're playing, and you're just with the lights on. You're gonna be,
Dave. Honestly, if you were there, and I mean, obviously the white one looks worse there, but no, it's like very noticeable. But it's like I mean, this is what you sign up for. To clean up this stuff.
The ball rolls over, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
I would like to clean it up. If it doesn't affect the gameplay, I mean, you could, whatever.
Oh yeah. No, and
I know nothing about clear coating too. It's like
so that's
you could really fuck it up if you don't know what you're doing.
So that's what I need to. That's what I want to figure out is how to get that. To make.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you wanted to really do it properly, you'd have to take everything off the fucking play field. What a pain in the ass.
That's basically what I've done so far. I'm not going to take absolutely everything off I am going to take off the ramps in the back, the plastic ramps in the back. And they're actually, haven't taken them off yet. But because they looked like pretty disgusting. But then when I started wiping them off, I'm like, oh, this is cleaning up beautifully. So it's not like, honestly, my Tales from the Crypt plastics were more worn.
Oh yeah.
In terms of just like ball wear, and those, like when I go to clean them off, it's like, oh, this is actually cleaning up beautifully. I am Gak. This is going to hurt you, and don't tell Slackmo. Although I don't think he ever listens to the show. I can't. I told him when I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is going to be the first game I have that has LEDs. And I just can't do it. I'll keep the ones under the play field because I think that works okay. But the ones where you can see them on the play field, they just hurt my eyes.
Oh,
I have the same problem.
That's a problem. Yeah.
LEDs.
Yeah.
Well,
So
isn't it like the flashers and stuff? Isn't that a big problem? Like because it's just like such an extreme flash.
Yeah, there's just all the LEDs. Like, so as I'm moving my way up, as I'm cleaning, because like I said, I started from the bottom and I'm working my way up, and I've been super, super busy at work and at night, and I haven't I got it on
I mean, I don't know if
but I'm switching them back out to the incandescent bulbs.
Right? Yeah.
I
mean, well,
plus your Twilight Zone and your Lord of the Rings are all incandescents, and they're beautiful.
Oh,
and so to have this one next to it, kind of like with Tails, it's like an eyesore almost. You know, maybe if they were all LED, maybe.
Well, the thing I wonder is, because they make all these different types of LEDs too. Like there's the warm white, there's the cool white, there's the daylight
warm white's easier on the eyes.
There's the ghosting, non-ghosting. I think they're pretty much all non-ghosting now. Like everybody avoids that, right?
I think so.
I
think so.
I'll say to Slackmo's credit, it's very tastefully done. Like I remember being at what is that place in San Francisco that back when I was in the league,
Gold Watch or whatever.
Yes, Free Gold Watch. There were a few pins, and one of them was Data East Star Wars.
Okay.
And it was so hideous. Like they had a green LED in the back glass behind Yoda's head to make him look more green. Like it was just like, it hurt me to play this game. It was so ugly. And Slackmo actually did a beautiful job. Like if you were going to do an LED, he did it very tastefully. I just can't. I'm just doing the incandescents, but I'm going to keep it under the play field, I think, and unless it drives me crazy.
The LEDs under the play field.
Yeah. But the ones that you can see the little lights sticking out, like under the plastics and all that, I'm like, no.
Again, I honestly, I've purchased a bunch of LEDs for the pins I have. Like when they did the Black Friday sale, now we're dating ourselves back in November and I haven't done shit. But they have all these different grades, so I got a few different ones. Like that's the thing I want to kind of see, like really, I don't like that either, where it's just like too much, like, oh God, I'm gonna have convulsions,
Yeah.
Too bright. But yeah, I would think they're working on that to get them more, to emulate what original lighting would have been as an option.
Yeah.
No, my Medieval Madness is all LED'd, and they're permanent LEDs, but they're not too bright. They have it just. I think it's fine.
Yeah, if you have the ability to adjust them, or
they
did it in advance.
Yeah, you can turn them. I think you can turn them down too. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're not. They're not where they. I mean, you guys have played it. It's like you didn't even notice it.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so. I think it just depends on the game and where the bulbs are, and if you can see them between the plastics and they're going right in your eyeball, and or some flashes in your eyes.
Yeah, and for part of what's fun about, or one of the things I like about the look of Funhouse is it's kind of got the old Funhouse look. It's got the old carnival look.
Oh, it's a great pin.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
And I love it. I was telling Slackmo, like, I like Roadshow better as a game, but I can't stand the music. So it's like I love playing that going to an arcade, because you can't hear anything in an arcade anyway because everything's so fucking loud. But in a home environment, like I just couldn't do it. Whereas Funhouse, like it's wonderful. It's fun to have Funhouse in a home environment because now you can really hear Rudy and all of the
taunting
the tauntings
you and pissing you off.
You suck.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Ow!
Waking me up. Stop it.
So that's fun because when I've played it, it's always been in a very noisy environment. So this is the first time I've really been able to hear it well. So, and I honestly haven't played it a whole lot because I've been so busy, and then mostly it just pains me, and I'm like, oh, I got to get new balls in this thing because it's like they're all gross, and it's my new baby to work on. So, but it's fun to see it kind of going. Yay. Like I said, I've gone up through the plastics at the bottom. That's as far as I've gotten. With all of it, and actually I have like the metal grate that goes around the apron. I have my semi-chrome. Thank you, Gino, for turning me onto that. And in fact, I was like, oh, I should go grab that thing and just be like polishing, but then it's gonna look like I'm like jacking off or something. You guys are gonna be like, what are you doing?
Something you want to tell us?
Yeah, exactly.
Or tell me.
Yeah.
So how does the game play? Does everything work, or is there any of the nothing sticks? Everything works fine.
Stay on target.
Nope. Yeah, as far as I can tell, everything works great. Like I said, yeah, Rudy, he fixed up Rudy, so his eyes apparently were not working left, and I'm really grateful for that because I've heard that's just a bitch and a half to have to pull Rudy's head apart and fix that. And he's like, oh yeah, I've done it like 30 times.
If you had Roadshow, you got 2 heads to take apart.
Yeah. Actually, he was telling me that, like, that he has a client who wants to come out.
Heads are better than one.
And fix Ted, who's the one that's like you have to dismantle, like, take the ramps off and the whole night. I'm like, oh, that sounds.
So I was always afraid having to deal with whitewater, having to take apart to get to the upper level. That's because there's so much stuff up there. There's flippers and switches and Bigfoot and the Bigfoot animation and I was just like always worried that was going to break up there because it's like, oh, it's such a pain in the ass because you got to take apart almost the whole thing just to get to that because it's all connected to ramps and shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
So
I took my I had to fix my my gumball assembly on Twilight Zone a while back, and God, that took me like 3 days of like, okay, here and setting everything out, and that was miserable. And then so for the new game, I'm ordering some Cliffies, which is going to really help for some of those worn spots because it covers up some of the holes and things like that. Fucking 100 and what did I get? Like
they're expensive.
We ended up like by the time I got like, oh, I want to get the rollovers and then these and then this ejection, eject. It was like $167. When Cliff emailed me because I was deal directly with him. He actually is a Bay Area boy.
Yeah,
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's cool. over in wine country. He so when he emailed me, he's like, oh, by the way, you qualify for a free shirt. What's your shirt size? And I was like, wow, really? Huh, cool. And then I got the invoice and like gulp. But one of the things that he gave me a discount, which was really nice. But
I ordered a bunch of pinball parts and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The only thing I installed was this lousy t-shirt. But
I got candy with one. I always get candy. You guys get candy with your parts?
Yes, sometimes.
I get candy. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So one of the things, Mark, you were talking about, take that playfield was when I was looking at the Cliffies. So I ordered some Cliffies for Twilight Zone because I haven't placed a Cliffy order since I picked up Twilight Zone, and just got a couple of them because some of them I was looking at and I'm like, nope, because he has a great protector for that upper playfield for the power, and it looks beautiful, and it's like that would be a really great thing to have, but I do not want to take off that upper playfield. When
with Cliffies though, you can just pick and choose. You don't have to do all of it.
Exactly.
Like, I just did like the main wear areas. I would do some Cliffies. Like I remember putting Cliffies all in my when I had Spider-Man. I put most of them in, but there was like one in the very back. I'm like, that's fine.
And I didn't order the whole set. I just did a pick and choose thing. That's where with the
just
Twilight
do where the most traffic is or whatever, where you think it's going to wear the most.
That upper foot playfield would be great, but I'm not gonna.
Everybody here knows what Cliffies are, right?
Oh yeah, some people might not know what those are. Does everybody know?
Well, no, in fact, Norm.
Well, it dates back to 1985. No, so Cliffies are they're not mandatory or anything. They're just a lot of people do them for home use after they get an old machine, and it's plastics that you put in underneath.
They're actually like stainless sheet metal, aren't they?
Yeah, it's super thin metal.
They're metal.
Sheet metal.
Not always metal. I have plastic ones. Yeah, and they're bigger and thicker, so that way they won't bang up your nice plastics. Basically, it's to protect the plastics that are there.
Oh, interesting. So, all the stuff I got was are the metal ones for like the
scoops and things.
The scoops and stuff like that.
There's those. But some of the plastics have thicker plastics, not like metal. So because if they're metal, you can't see through the plastic with the light.
Yeah. So these are through the playfield though, because I think
there's ones in the playfield for the scoops. Like Medieval Madness has a Cliffy for that scoop. But Keith says that if you have a home use only, don't worry about it. It's for things like if you've gotten something that it's really ratty.
Yes.
Then you want to probably throw a Cliffy in there because it cleans it up.
Yes, and that's why I bought the ones I did years ago.
Yeah, you kind of have to do something about that and fix it up. So.
Twilight Zone. Looked better because of that, because it had one of its nice. The scoop had like some nasty wear, and you slap that Cliffy on it,
and it looks nice again, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like the ones I got were super thin sheet metal, like stainless steel sheet metal. And so it's like you can't even really notice the lip at the edge of it because it's so thin.
Yeah,
it goes right down against the artwork or the wood on the playfield.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's like the out hole. Is that the scoops? I don't know what the names of them are. It's like a hole that
The out
ball
hole.
drops in.
Exit only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost bought Cliffy's for the Tron, but it's for the for that scoop because you use it so much. But I was like, yeah, I'll wait till I start selling Ratty.
That
Oh,
looks good. My Star Trek had the neutral zone drop hole was like chewed up into the wood.
Oh yeah,
and I installed the Cliffy, and it's
cleans it right up. Yeah.
That shot takes a lot of.
And you know, you look at it, you're like, there's hardly any metal here. But if you really think about it, like, you have to design the part to where it can be flat, and it's like laser cut most likely out of thin sheet metal, and then you have to form it in that
perfectly
shape.
Form it, fold it.
It's like a lot of, I'll say, engineering to create that, make it work. A lot of time. Once that's done, then the part is probably, you know, you got $1 of material, but he's charging you $50.
But it was engineered, you know, for that.
Many hours. It took quite a few hours.
Someone took trial and error to fold and figure it out.
Exactly.
Make sure it's not going to interfere with anything underneath. Make sure that when you squeeze it and put it in, it just
doesn't stick.
Doesn't stick.
Doesn't interfere with anything. Right. Still works. Still covers enough. Yeah.
Balls aren't getting, you know, air balls off of it, or I'm sure
it's worth it to have it. Yeah.
And even just for him to find friends with those pins to test it on, because he has a slew of them, and clearly Cliff doesn't own all those pins, and so sometimes you'll see in his pictures, he'll be like, many thanks to so and so, and you know, like, wow. So I'm excited that's going to be coming. And then also I have the apron, one of the apron decals was really fucked up, and I'm guessing, and so I've ordered a replacement decal that hopefully will come. I'll shoot this picture to you too, Jim. Since they're on my phone, I don't have them on the like, I'm like, what the fuck happened to this? My guess is that
fire.
It's fire. It's totally fire. How did you know? Blowtorch. My guess is that somebody like there was a sticker on it or something, and someone decided to use like Gooby Gone.
Shit!
Right, or goof off, right? Like, look how fucked up that.
Does Gooby Gone take that off though?
Well, actually, one of them does. Like the goof. I forgot which one it is.
Goof off.
Goof off.
Goof off. Well, that's,
holy crap!
That's hardcore.
Right? Like, look at that poor thing. So they luckily they sell replacement, and the ticket. You know, the papers to the
What's
side
the name of this game?
Beautiful.
I
know.
Fuck house. What is that game? That's like
whorehouse.
You should hear Rudy.
Fuck house. That's a show title. Fuck house. Harry's Fuck House. Wait, no.
Green Door movies.
It says Willie's Fuck House.
It's a 3-baller.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
But it says at bit 1.
The anal mode. What? Oh shit.
Is Rudy the pimp?
And
you have the creepy
1.
eyebrows looking at you, though, right?
Oh yeah.
So what are you gonna get, like a vinyl decal or something to cover that?
Yeah. So there's somebody who's there's actually a couple places that I'm sure it's only just one place that generates them. That it sells like a vinyl decal.
Oh, perfect.
There's also some folks there's a couple different apron designs where it's like apron skins that would just cover the whole thing. But honestly, I kind of like the original look of it, so I'm just gonna do the replacement. That'll be spectacular.
Is this the serial number here? Was this something?
I don't think so. I think
license.
I think that might have been like and that's not on the. That's not supposed to be. There originally.
Okay, that was gonna be like okay.
Yeah, no, I think that might have been like a sticker or whatever. I really think that someone used
operator thing, maybe
a tax sticker or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures of Rudy on the playfield?
I don't. I'd have to go. I can go run outside and take a picture. I mean, I can try to bring my computer out there. Although I guess I do have. What the heck? I'll bring it out there.
Carrie, that decal that you're getting, does it go with all the trim all the way around, or is it just the center? Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, it does the whole. So obviously those little paper insets,
little outlines,
are are separate. But yeah, no, it does the whole thing, as well as I'll show you. I feel like we're going into the dark layer here. I forgot that I like, oh yeah, that's right. I have my extender and I'm not going to lose everything.
The suspense is terrible.
Is there?
I hope it'll last.
I have, yeah. So I have, so Slackmo actually touched up Rudy's lips and he did a nice job on it. Trying to think. Oh yeah, you can see.
Can you make her present?
There we go.
Oh, there we go. And I'm sorry because I'm on my laptop that doesn't have a good camera, so it has a kind of a.
Rudy's in sleep mode right now.
Rudy is in sleep mode. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I have obviously the glasses off. So I've worked on the bottom part of it. And again, this is not the good camera, but I have the
on the contrary, everything looks really good.
Yeah.
it's like glamour shots.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I am putting the color.
It's like the zoom touch up.
The blue, the blue color rubbers on there. This is all cleaned up down here. Obviously we got the sad sticker, and then I'm polishing and polish up with this. The grading goes right here that I'm going to be that I'm polishing up. But yeah, so I've gotten to about right here in
nice
in my work, and then and you can see like I put the orange rubbers that marks the top, and then as soon as like I don't know how well you can really see, but like you see the rubbers down below, or the plastics down below with the gal with her skirt getting blown up, and then if you look at like this plastic compared with nasty, like all dirty and gross, I'm like, oh, that's gonna clean up gorgeous. It is very rewarding. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun working on that.
Cool. On
that stuff. So yeah. And then the paint was touched up around the edges, which and it doesn't quite match. So I'm going to retouch up that paint because it's like you can even see on like over here the blues don't quite match. So I just have to get a good color match. But that's going to be. I mean, that's not. Yeah, that's going to be easy if I put all my dog supplies.
Instant gratification.
Totally. Yeah, it's fun.
Did Slackmo have this in his collection, or was it in his storage or something?
No, so he has. I think and Gak probably knows better than I do. Like he has some games kind of out on route, and then he has some locations, I think, where it's like a business.
Yeah, he does corporate stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this was a corporate rental. Basically,
so there's stuff. It's like .com companies in the Bay Area. They'll have like lunch rooms where they'll have games in them and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
I believe he's got a handful of games like that he kind of routes there. And I don't think they actually do quarter drops. It's just they rent them from.
Yeah, I think so too.
It gets pricey too. It's I think it's like $200 a weekend or something like that. It's kind of pricey.
Yeah, I think they probably do like long term, like 3 month or 6 month or a year rent leases or rents or whatever. It's not just like for a weekend; it's for longer term.
You keep it for a couple of months, you could have bought one.
Yeah. So
yeah, you're right.
The deal as an operator, that's a sweet deal.
Yeah,
you're right about the underplay field
Andrew
They don't look too
bad. A long time ago with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think
like why not route it for like a year or two, and then you just have a new pin. Well, you
do what Carrie's doing. Yeah.
And then COVID hits, and you don't make shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the underplay field stuff actually looks. Like it makes it's
not overdriven. Right. Looks like it's well balanced.
Yeah, it really is. Slackmo did a good job. It's just the stuff that you can see up
on the top there. Yeah,
that's a little painful. But so you can
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see the difference under there. I think I'm showing you the wrong game. Creating my head. But yeah, so you can see kind of the difference with like the incandescence on the lower ones. Like so I think it'll be a good balance. It's going to come out great.
Yeah.
And actually, so a lot of the play field now that I'm as much as like some of this stuff over here is really gross, but like you look like I haven't even cleaned up there, and that looks really nice.
And that's going to be great.
Yeah. And this is the plastic ramp I was talking about in the back, where it's like I wiped off the parts I could access, and it's like, oh damn, this is cleaning up really nicely, but I'm going to have to go ahead and pull at least the top plastic off so I can get underneath it since they're clear. But it's like it's not worn. It doesn't have those nasty ass grooves that a lot of the plastics end up having, especially the clear plastic. So no, I'm really happy. I'm excited.
Good. Yay.
Yay. Fun.
And now you don't have a vacant spot to tempt you.
Yeah,
for
I
something
know,
else.
right? Well, that was part of the trick, was that I had the empty spot for a long time because he wasn't picking it up.
Are you going to be able to handle not having a DMD though? Because it's just a regular display, right?
It's funny you should say that, because I was thinking about it, because it is kind of weird, such like a 1990 game, and I'm like, why am I paying a lot of money for a game that doesn't even have a DMD? But but I kind of feel like you don't need it as much in this game because Rudy talks to you so much.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of it's for the DMD, you get that, it's where the interactiveness of it. And instead you have Rudy talking to you. So I think it's good. And I will say there's a topper that I think I'm probably going to get, which is kind of like this admit one, ticket thing.
Oh,
and
cool.
It has interactive lights around it. And they're kind of like, the funhouse
cool.
lights. And the fact that it's interactive. So it's like, I'm probably going to go ahead and spring for that once I get the game cleaned up. Cause right now it doesn't.
Well, I guess I don't have a color DMD to buy you for Christmas or whatever.
That's right. That's been a pretty.
I need to work harder to think of gift ideas.
So I should, but also I'll show you. So I sold Mortal Kombat. Well, because I sold Tales Tales from the Crypt, and then Slackmo didn't have the game and hadn't picked it up, and then I got tempted by Circus, and so I picked up Circus, and then I didn't have space for. He's like, literally Circus came on like Wednesday and Slackmo emails me on like Friday, like, oh, so you were still interested in Funhouse? And I'm like, fuck now. So that's it. Hence I put up Mortal Kombat. So I have Circus. So Circus is now in the row next to Karate Champ. But
Carrie, Circus and Funhouse, those kind of tie in together.
I was just going to say they should be next to each other.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, actually, it would work out really well next to each other. But I wanted to
Carrie's
show you.
Tent Arcade. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I was like, oh, that actually would
Carnival.
And I thought about moving. Like, okay, how would I shuffle? And maybe after the next CAX, I'll shuffle, because that's usually a good time to shuffle. Shuffle. The one thing I wanted to show you guys was, so when I got the game, because I picked this up from Fetish Boy, and he has a penchant for art. So when he sent it to me, he had wrapped it and had doodled this on the plastic. And I actually right. And so I actually cut it out very carefully, and I just taped it here next to the machine. So it was so cute.
That's a kind of cool little art thing.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
And it's just obviously taped to my garage door, but
you didn't have to draw the clown. I get what a circus is. I know there's clowns there.
I know. It was just so cute because
I'm surprised he didn't have a penis or something.
A big.
I know.
Maybe he worked it into the clown somewhere, like he's got dick ears or something.
Exactly.
He needs to draw the rest of it, like licking his own boob and all that.
Yeah. Veiny.
It was so funny.
It
was so funny.
Is.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so funny when the STI folks rolled Circus off the truck, because I'm standing there watching them, load it up, and as they're taking it down, and I just like burst out laughing. I'm like, there's no doubt which game this is, because I saw Sean's doodle on it with the Circus, and I'm like, oh my god, that was just too cute.
Awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
So, Carrie, why did you buy a Mortal Kombat again? Did you say you bought that for your daughter or something?
Yeah, so she wanted a button masher, and she was like, "Oh, I like those." So I got it for her. And then the other part was I had my multi-Williams in it, my J-Rock. So for me, then it was like I was playing Robotron on a 32-inch screen. It was awesome. I mean, with the wrong joysticks. Oh, but it was fun having, but yeah. So it's going to go. So now I'm going to do the J-Rock in my Defender.
Oh, okay.
So
because I didn't realize you still have your Tempest cocktail.
I do. Yes.
You have a Tempest upright as well. I didn't realize you had that.
I know. Well, you know what? I got the Tempest upright because because first of all, it was a hell of a deal. I think I got that for like $200.
Oh, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Holy moly! Yeah, you can't pass that up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. So I got, because that was what I got that, and the Defender I used to turn into Cloak and Dagger, both from the same couple down in San Luis Obispo area, and So yeah, and $200, and then Scott came out with that multi-vector one, and I'm like, oh, with the
you can do Major Havoc or
exactly.
Whatever.
I'm like, oh, so maybe that. And I have to say, it's I do prefer playing the upright over the cocktail, so I may sell the cocktail. But I kind of feel like I need to get another cocktail because that's where Zadie hangs out.
I was just saying where your dog's going to go.
I know, right? So, and it's like it doesn't. Let me turn this off. Hey Google, turn off Funhouse. You
should get like a Ms. Pack or something because that's something good for the house.
I don't, honestly. I have the Ms. Pack for my BitKit, the one that
How about a Galaga? You have a Galaga?
I do not.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some multi that people in the living room could for the company, for the guests.
We'll see. No, but they get the Ms. BitKit. That's what they because that's going to have.
Right, yeah.
Dare you put your nose up to giggle?
Just thinking of a cocktail to get. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and that's just it. Like, what kind of
Arkanoid in a Midway cocktail?
Oh yes, I agree.
Arkanoid in a Midway cocktail.
That was the Arkanoid I played a lot. Was in a Midway cocktail. 19.
They look sharp. They
do.
were. That was one like uprights and cocktails. They love Midway.
And Arkanoid is a great game to just sit there and have a cocktail or drink.
And anybody would play that too. That's like approachable. It's Breakout. So
yeah.
I think it's pretty.
Yeah, just so long as
I don't really like Arkanoid myself, but I think you would probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can stop presenting me, by the way.
Oh yeah, I guess I can now that you're back in your whatever spot.
Yeah.
Cozy couch.
My cozy couch with the canines. I got the dogs down below here.
So Carrie, backpedaling a little bit, how many plays are on the Funhouse?
Oh, good question. I haven't even looked. I'll
a
look
counter for that, I bet, right? Is there like a little mechanical counter?
Just 120.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
really abusive plays.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to look that up.
With a flamethrower.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's in good shape, but yeah, the parts of it I'm like, and I'm learning, but I'm learning things like, oh, how do I clean that part off? Like, I'll figure it out.
See, I used to be a DMD snob until I played more pins and played some that weren't DMD, like Funhouse and Black Knight 2000.
That's my favorite ever. I was
Bad
thinking
Cats.
But
those are great
for me,
pins.
Mark,
yeah.
I'm not the specialist you guys are with pins, but unless it's like a mode where you like lock the balls and it's some kind of special mode that you're playing, I never look at the DMD. I mean, I'm like,
no, you can't.
I'm just
it's
watching
hard.
the ball,
it distracts you.
It's more for the audience watching you play than it is for you.
I was just talking to Carrie when she was talking about Funhouse like a night or two ago, and I was like, after like playing a bunch of that era of pin at like CAX, if I had room, obviously I don't have room for another pin, but if I was going to buy another one and I had the opportunity for like a nice diner, because I think that's a really cool
good game
pin.
Too.
Yeah, and it's got a really cool look to it. Again, that's a game where you could not put LEDs in it because it's got that glow to it. The restaurant,
an old school diner, and
it's a really cool back glass and everything. Yeah, it's
the wiggly characters in the back.
Yeah,
and the windows.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, Andrew, what was Andrew saying about?
Andrew, get back here.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Get over here.
Some of the. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Andrew has Judge Dredd that has that DMD that has some amazing animations, but that game is so fast and so hard, you can't watch that stuff. That's more for like when your friend's playing and you watch him and watch his score and watch the animations, because then you see all the funny stuff where people are getting shot in the face and or they die and then they get peed on by the dog that walks.
Talk about Judge
all that
Dredd.
stuff that's in the game that's really funny that you can't see that. Like when you're playing Wonka, how much are you really watching the screen? You know,
the only time I'm watching the screen, again, and then you talk about like Wonka's not even that bad. Watching like The Hobbit or something where there's like so many little things on the screen you can't do it. But typically, the only time I'm watching the screen is in between ball shots, like because then you're looking to see, all right, should I go for the skill shot or should I try for this? And then that's about it. Yeah,
like Monster Bash has parts in the pin where it kind of holds the ball and shows you something on the screen and you can watch it, you know, like certain modes, like when Frankenstein's being revived, you know, the ball's not going anywhere, it just sits there, shows you the animation, then you can watch it, but then it releases the ball and then you're back to it, you know. So it kind of depends on the game, but yeah.
Star Trek: The Next Generation that makes use of the DMD where you actually play the game up there on the DMD.
Oh, the mini games in it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so that's a part where you be Andrew, we were talking about the DMD animations where like I was bringing up your Judge Dredd where it has some amazing animated parts, but you can't really watch that stuff. It's it's more for the audience person who's watching you play. Spectators, that's the word. To enjoy, because there's some really funny stuff in there.
All right, so Star Trek, here's a segue, Dave.
Oh yeah, I was talking about before we went on air. That's why I put it in the chat, because maybe I just uploaded it to YouTube. So I was fortunate enough to, those of you who follow like Clov and stuff, I had a captain's chair for sale, and everyone's like, people were like, "You're selling your captain's chair?" I'm like, yes and no. I was fortunate. I have a great friend of mine, Donnie, who was fortunate enough to acquire a captain's chair, and he knew I wanted it. And he doesn't have a fond memory of the game, and we made a deal, and I did a trade and had a captain's chair, and then he was fortunate enough to get another one. Unbelievable, but the one he got was better than the one I had. And
so yours was still a little bit of a project, right?
Yes, it's project. Everything was there, but it was missing some Molex connectors, so it's never even been tested. Plugged it, because you couldn't connect part A to part B. Yeah, so but it was all there, and then Donnie actually sent the boards out to be repaired, got them back, and his was working. And then he's like, "It takes too much room in my basement, man. I need it out of here."
That's at least two games.
But I remember it as a kid.
Yeah,
like I remember sitting in there. Like he didn't have a memory of it, so and then now he's like, all of a sudden it's like, some of these games I was just collecting because they're rare and this, but I'm gonna start getting stuff that. Like I think I want a Gauntlet, stuff that he played a lot, that personal connection. Like he picked
Gauntlet.
up a double.
It's all subjective.
Yes. And he also picked up a double dragon, and he goes, I moved it down in the lineup because I played the shit out of it, and I never wanted one. I got one.
That's kind of where I think a lot of us are at, where it's like, okay, now it's not the novel. Now it's like, what am I going to play? What am I actually going to play? Yeah.
Plus, with COVID, you're by yourself a lot. You don't have a lot of people coming over, so. Get the stuff that you like.
I got it pulled up here, Dave.
This was yesterday. Donnie brought this, and my wife. Wait, before you start it,
so funny.
And my wife, Donnie brings this on a pickup truck, and then my wife comes out to get something out of the car. I didn't know. She's like, "What is that? Where's this going?" Wait, are we? Donnie's here, like just looking at me, smiling. It's like, wait, we're getting this thing. This thing is huge.
Dave, sorry, what's your name?
Going in the living room
again?
Carter.
So this is Carter from Buffalo.
Okay, yeah. But he doesn't.
Carter.
This made me laugh really hard.
He doesn't understand. This was like, this has literally been here for 5 minutes. He's just spinning.
Spins it like
Dave,
crazy.
by the way, that was totally you 35 years ago.
Yeah.
That was exactly you.
I was a little older playing this though, he's only 8,
it's already over.
It's so damn funny.
Yeah, it was quick.
That's awesome.
I don't think his age group was a target audience for this.
Yeah, 8 years old. And it was funny because I was trying to I go, Carter, you got to get that green square because you get more. He goes, I don't like that green square. I want to avoid it. I go, well, then you're going to die every time. It gives you more.
You don't get a higher score for spinning the knob as fast as you can.
Now he would probably enjoy Arkanoid.
Yeah.
There you go.
but the
Or
sound
Tempest.
the sound on the chair is like, it just sounds amazing because you got speakers right here. And
that thing sounded loud just on that.
Oh yeah, game, right, Gino?
Yeah.
Where are the speakers? Are they behind you in that?
Yeah, they're right here.
I mean,
by your
right
ears.
here?
Wow.
Gino, where's your Star Trek in your house?
It's not at my house. It's actually the only game I don't
Man cave.
You,
have.
I
Parents'
mean,
basement.
Dave, really the ultimate
Somebody kicked Gino.
experience always,
Yeah.
unless you're 34K.
You're no longer on the list,
always
even though you have the link.
environmental or the cockpit.
Dude,
The link that is obviously the same.
Yeah.
Dude, I was sitting in there because it was dirty. You know, Donnie just, he didn't, he got it. He was not like, he wasn't sure if he was going to keep it. Like, there's just, and I'm like wiping this thing off, and it's like, this is a beautiful example of this game because it's really in great shape compared to the one I had. But I'm just sitting in the cockpit cleaning the plexi above me, and I'm like, I like it in here. Like I just had like a moment. Like I just want to have a laptop. I just want to
enjoy the moment.
Oh god, because it brings me back to like a little kid. We don't have any cockpit games, and I have this, and I have a Spy Hunter cockpit, or I have 1.5 Spy Hunter cockpits, and that's like. And Donnie's looking, he's like, dude, where the hell are you gonna put both these things down in your little basement? I'm like, I don't know. And then we're like, all right, let's move these games behind me over here. Maybe I could put them like side by side right in the center here.
You just crawl through the captain's chair to get to Spy Hunter.
I know it's gonna be. They're gonna be next to each other. It's totally.
I was trying to remember, that's a good question. What cockpit games do I have nostalgia for? Maybe like Afterburner.
Oh yes, me too. Yeah, the environmental. That's why when I go to Fun Spot. Like,
Spy Hunter. I do remember playing that.
Spy Hunter, that's the
I remember
way I
seeing the uprights more than the cockpit, though. But yeah,
that's the way I first played it was in cockpit. And so Andrew was sold me his Spy Hunter, and I had it for I don't know 3-4 years.
2 days.
No, we had a long
3-4 days.
No, we had like 2
At
or
least
3 years, and maybe 4. But man, that was a fucking beast. I only have 6 steps. I thought I was getting a heart attack. Me and my buddy.
So damn heavy.
Fucking game weighs so much.
Dude, we were laughing like, oh my god, this thing is heavy as shit.
I think it's made with oak.
Waterlogged oak. Yeah.
All those posts on Claw where they joke about it. That's no
it's
joke.
True.
It's no joke how heavy that is to try and get. It was.
Plus the capacitors are as big as a Pepsi can, and
my father-in-law was looking at me and my friend. He's hearing all these grunts like.
Oh, it's so heavy.
Just trying to.
I can't imagine what the sit down is like compared to the stand up. So
well, you can separate it.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can separate. And it's on wheels, so as long as you only have to roll it around.
It's not a mine's not on wheels. I don't think it's
not.
On I don't think so.
Mine was on wheels when I had.
But
damn.
But yeah, I had nostalgia for both those games. Like Spy Hunter Cockpit was always like.
I think
like
Star Wars Cockpit has to be up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. It is for me too. But Spy Hunter was more because I mean I love the Star Wars Cockpit, but Spy Hunter, the music alone blew me away. I thought it was amazing.
I don't think I ever played Star Trek or saw one back in the day.
I did. My brother's 18 months younger to me, and I was so he goes, I don't remember playing it. I go, Glenn, they had it at Showbiz. But he doesn't remember because he probably didn't play it. Like I sat in that as a younger kid. And Fun Spot is still, every time we've gone there, it's always on and it's always working. Wow. Spy Hunter has since left the floor and always had issues. But for whatever reason, their Star Trek cockpit is always working.
That's good.
It's like they have other vectors that are down, but the cockpit's always
Star Wars cockpit for sure. Pole position cockpit for sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Spy Hunter for sure.
Oh, those
and then another one that I played, and I don't really remember playing the upright that much, but the cockpit a lot was Road Blasters.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking cool cockpit. I never saw one, but
I played
that's awesome.
The only Road Blasters cockpit I've ever seen in person was the one at Fun Spot.
Yeah, they still got it. They still have it.
And the magnifying glass on it.
The magnifying
glass.
The giant magnifying glass.
There's no lens.
It's like the lens in the back of an RV.
It reminds me of the accessory for like the old Game Boy. You could buy the magnifier that attached to it.
That hangs over
with the light on it.
The lights on it.
Yeah.
And they have like that Space Harrier, but it's been down the last couple of years. You know, my son remembered playing it. He's like, "Yeah, where's it?" I go, "It's there. It's just not working." I mean, I get it.
Oh man,
the
Afterburner the one that there's a picture of Andrew in, and he's all like,
I had my wings out.
Bounce car in that.
Yeah, the Road Blasters cockpit I got was near you, Lewis. Like, I stopped by your house after picking that up, I think, right? To get the monitors from you? I think our monitors.
No, that wasn't Road Blasters. That was Stun Runner.
They're both red.
That's a straddle. That's not really.
I got Road
cockpit.
Blasters
straddle
in the Bay Area too.
Yeah.
Though. I don't remember where exactly, but
like a horsey
straddle.
So I'm confusing those two.
Like
a horsey simulator.
Yes.
So Dave, did you sell your other truck? Did you sell your original Star Trek cockpit? Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that part. Okay.
No,
good.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Because I'm sorry. Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
Donnie said it's too big. He goes, "Why don't you sell yours and buy mine?"
But I mean, but it actually sold. I think I said
yeah. But that's the one I spent.
He's like,
literally spent $900 to make that repro of the canopy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was $900. Yep. It was like $890, whatever, between getting the metal made, the powder coating, it was such an ordeal. And then, but I could sell it with that. Like
you listed that and sold it like within a day, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
a local guy.
Like.
Oh wow!
I
nice.
took it off. Yeah, a local guy looked at it. He's like, yeah, because he doesn't have to ship it. But you think about it, he doesn't have to ship it. So if he ever wanted one, he's already saving, $400 or $500 in shipping. So, and he works on shit. So he'll be able to bring it back. And I told him, I go, because he knows Donnie, and I said, hey, I'm going to have a working one. So you can always come over and whatever, it's just, I go, I love it too. I did keep because Donnie's was missing the seat. So I kept the seat from mine and I made a new seat for the one I sold, which I just took it to Home Depot, had them, and then put the outdoor carpet. It looks great. It looked fine. In fact, I might even do that because mine's got a burn mark, but we'll see. I don't even know if I'm going to bother right now, but it looks fine. But yeah.
What got you going on Star Trek again? Was it playing at a fun spot or Grinkers?
Well, both. Donnie always knew. I said, oh, cockpit's a captain's chair. I mean, it blows me away that I even have one that's sitting there. I just went outside when I got a beer. I'm just looking at it like proud man, like
I can't believe I own this.
Yes, I mean, I had one fucking. I got a captain's chair in my goddamn garage. I mean, that's impressive. And I got a super punch out that it's got still got the fucking feedback. I just put it in yesterday, and Donnie was here, and the guy ducking all the time. I didn't have the micro switch needed to be lowered.
Yeah.
Was it? But the feedback is still there. And Donnie's like, oh, maybe it's this. I go, dude, no, I'm telling you, the punch up board, there's nothing. Because I did that after just to see. He's like, oh, maybe the speaker's bad. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, because the punch up board works fine. I don't know. Like, all right, I'm throwing this out there. The plug is not grounded because it's got I'm gonna replace it. Could that be possible because this board is so fucked up?
Oh, absolutely.
That he did like some other. So I'm gonna cut it and put the grounding on tomorrow and try it. Because I noticed that when I
always add.
Well, because I've had 3 different things where my son got shocked and like Operation Wolf. I've got the gun and my hairs are up on my arm. I'm like, what the fuck?
Add that ground pin and then go through the cabinet wiring and make sure that take some light sandpaper and just make sure all the points of the cabinet wiring are clean and not oxidized. And you can check it with a multimeter if you want.
I'm just saying because of the feedback, because the punch out there's no feedback, and I'm thinking this was such a fucked up board. The guy to do so much to it that maybe something's a little.
Yeah. I would just more sensitive too.
Yeah, but I've had the Operation Wolf where I got the hairs, the gyrus where Carter kept saying he was getting shocked. I go, you're full of shit. And I'm like, oh, he's right.
Something's not grounded.
Shock therapy. It's like Return to Oz.
No, there was something else. There was 3 games I had that yes, we were getting.
But Dave, do that, and then also the other thing you could do just for good measure is take some deoxit on your edge connector and work that on the PCB a little bit too.
Yeah, I have it, but the only thing is when I put the punch out in, it's fine.
Right, but I'm talking about the reason for doing that is for the fingers on the super punch out on your other board.
Oh, okay.
To make
but I sent it back to the guy, and then he board tested. He's like, dude, I'm not getting anything. Like, it's fine. I ran it all night or whatever he said. It's all
no
good.
feedback, but I didn't hook up speakers either. Is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't know. Because he said, ooh, because when he said it, and he was wondering about this, and I had the joystick.
Yeah,
up
the
right.
ground thing though doesn't. It sounds pretty. Yeah.
I just noticed that. I go, oh shit! If this is it, it's like you with your little the magnet. Like, oh my god, I would love it just to be this. Like,
yeah, that is strange. Though I will. I mean, I do agree. It's strange that it's one board's doing it, not the other. But yeah, that. I always try like, especially with feedback and stuff. Is like ground is definitely.
Well, just because I had those experience with the hairs and the gun, and there's another game too. I gotta think, what the hell was the other game that something weird was happening? And it's just like the ground plug was besides my 7-year-old or 6 at the time. Dad, I'm getting shot. Or what did he say? He didn't say shocked. He said, "This game hurts me."
Yeah. So good.
Is that supposed to happen?
Yes. But the gun, oh no, because then I was putting on the gyrus. Maybe I did it on the operational too. But the gyrus, I had the multimeter. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a little bite here. I'm getting a reading touching this metal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shocked.
Oh, man. Yeah. With the gun, when I'm playing it, I look at my hairs and they're all standing up.
That's when you know the game's good. You're getting goosebumps and everything. Yeah.
Like, making yourself sterile at the same time.
I was just like, Dave, if you're sterile now, there's not a lot of guessing to do here.
Yeah, 49. I got 2 kids. I'm good.
Yeah. I will say that is one thing I need to do immediately on or right away on Funhouse. Is it's missing the ground that third prong.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna.
Why do so many people cut that off?
I know.
Oh wait, there's a reason.
Why?
Because somebody told me, or I read it somewhere. Some of the old arcades, the wiring sucked, and instead of always finding, they just broke it off so they could plug it into their existing wiring.
Yeah, they only had two plug. They didn't have grounded outlets. They were grounding through
So that's how old the buildings were, or something. They didn't have a ground.
My house didn't have.
They couldn't stick it in the wall. I guess.
I've also seen them get broke off from like people forcefully, like not paying close attention to plugging them in. They slowly start bending, and then before you know it, it just snaps off.
Yeah, I've had a couple of machines before where it's like barely hanging on the ground plug.
My house was built in '61. None of my outlets, they were all two prong. Yeah. And I changed it. The box itself was grounded, so it wasn't an issue. So I changed it, and then but they were all 2 prong, and I changed them to 3. So, whatever the first couple of years, except one is still not grounded. I got the electrician that one's in the living room. I got to say, Carter.
Well, when I was doing, I was cracking open those 2 TVs I picked up for tube swaps, and I was remembering something that Randy Fromm said that, anytime you pick up these old TVs, the reason why they're all in a plastic shell is that you can't get shocked because there's nothing to ground the frame, and they just come out with a little 2-prong plug.
Oh, interesting.
So that's why they're all plastic shells. Isn't that comforting?
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, Gino, to answer your question, I looked at when I went off for my my quick bathroom break, a little under 42,000 plays.
Oh wow.
Okay.
On Funhouse?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not as many.
All from the same person.
Yeah.
Was it 10 G's?
Yeah, it's about 10 grand. Yeah. And it probably originally sold for 3 or 4. I don't know how much they sold for 30 years ago. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe
I would guess around $4,000 or something. Yeah. Oh, I was looking up arcade machines on Craigslist today, and someone was selling a Discs of Tron stand-up, not a environment, of course.
$5,000.
The regular yeah. And I was like, oh, what are they selling that for? And it was like $6,500. I'm like, oh my god, that's just a little too rich for my blood.
That's a pin.
I want a pin or one stand-up machine.
Yep.
No, I've noticed on Facebook, the prices have gone up. I think there's
pandemic pricing.
Why didn't pandemic pop the bubble?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's not supposed to be this way.
I know.
Yeah.
Pop that bubble. Pop already.
Pop.
Yeah, I know. Housing was supposed to go down, and the market and for games was supposed to drop out. And
said everything went up, including gas.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Now that you want to drive again, the price is gonna go up.
But our pay didn't go up either.
Yeah. Oh, Oh, somebody sneezed at a refinery. We got to increase that by 25 cents a gallon.
Right.
Oh shit.
Well, what do you guys think? Well, sorry. Are you about?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, you got anything new? Like, any new games or stuff you doing? I haven't heard much, in a while. Any new game pickups or things you fixed? Nothing really new.
Too damn cold out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That too.
It's still, yeah.
Just cleaned up the Christmas shit that I just dumped in the middle of the garage from Christmas, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
like we had a few days that was like 60 where I was like, oh, all right, and then just like that, then it was cold again, and it's that teetering out here right now, where it's like you can't really get excited. Like one day might be really nice, and then like the next it'll be 40s, and
I mean, I hate to brag, but it's feeling like Southern California weather where I'm at right now. It's like 70-ish all the time, like sunny. Like the next week's going to be awesome.
It's only cold at night.
Cold. It goes down to 50.
Andrew sent us a picture of the front of his house, and it's like snow everywhere. I'm like, oh my God.
So Lewis, I want to bring up again, like you got the Atari guys. So that's going to be our next get together, right?
Good call on, yes, because there's 5.
Yeah, we should talk about that
guys,
so people
right?
can
maybe some surprise.
If they want to listen live.
Yeah,
that's on the 6th, right?
It's on. Yeah. It's 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, April 6th, starting at 8:30. That's when the Atari crew is supposed to take over.
They're gonna hijack our hangout.
That's good timing. It gives us a chance to make certain everything's up and running.
Right.
And people are done with their dinner, and
I mean, I kind of want to, I think everybody should think about this, and people in the chat too. Like, throw out a question that maybe they can do a roundhouse answer to.
Yeah, if there's like I don't know what to with a crew that size. I don't think any of us really know exactly what to expect. But if there is any dead space at all, like, or any sort of moment where they're like, "Do you have any questions?" It would be nice to have that. That's going to be the time that we're going to throw them questions that people have already thought up, because we're not going to be like, let me think here. Yeah.
That's when we ask them about the hot tubs and the pot parties.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to lead with.
Why weren't you invited to the marijuana
parties
upstairs? Marijuanas.
Yeah.
The devil's lettuce.
Devil's.
I've never heard that before.
Yes.
The devil's lettuce. That's so good.
Yeah, we got to think of some questions, like controversial ones, like I don't know, like
what did you guys think of each other back then?
Yeah, did you ever make a dirty game or something for friends, or did you ever
what was the worst thing you said behind each other's backs?
Did you ever make a lover boy?
Yeah.
Did you ever play lover boy?
Did you want to play lover boy?
Are you a fan?
Yeah. Gals Panic. What did you think of that game?
Hey, another one, Mark.
What do you think of that?
Mark, they also call it a hippie cabbage.
Hippie
cabbage?
Hippie cabbage.
Electric lettuce, hippie cabbage.
Yeah.
Sounds like band names.
Yes.
I know, right? Punk bands. Yeah, we got to think of some good questions, like did you have any office parties that got out of control that you saw things happen? Or I don't know.
Were the police ever called?
Yeah, how many times were the police called?
How much ass
was the worst boss you had?
I'm thinking is like,
you don't have to name names.
Of all of them, like, who was the first one there at Atari? And then
who was the biggest asshole
when
they
interacted with each other? What was their first impression? Like, that Owen Rubin guy, man, he seemed like such a douchebag. He was like so cocky.
Hey,
ego
can we
on
wait
that
till
guy.
they're here on the show?
Yeah. That's kind of what I went.
Or was there any employees that ever just got too addicted to the Happy Cabbage or whatever that were not functional anymore? That the environment was not conducive. That
wasn't productive anymore.
Yeah, they were not productive. That they enjoyed the partying more than the working.
Maybe that's why they didn't participate, because they had deadlines and stuff. The interns get to enjoy that.
Did anyone ever steal one of your design ideas?
Oh, that's a good one.
Put that on.
What reminded you of something that you created
this,
that probably they stole?
This 35-year-old feud.
Well, they talk about other stuff
that they never settled.
You can. I mean, like, we've got the threads on Clav that I think are both in both places. Obviously the Hangout thread, and then the one I set up that was separate. Inviting people to post there, so maybe that would be a good.
Questions.
That's
Have you got any on there? I haven't checked.
Steal your ideas.
I don't think so.
I checked to see that you posted the
The
event,
post
but
doesn't have any questions yet. So
no, I didn't see any questions.
No, just inviting people to.
Yeah, maybe when it's getting closer, I bet then people.
Has anybody talked about any interest in it? Like, oh, that sounds like fun or anything like that? Or
there are a lot of likes. So
is there a date? I'm sorry, I probably
the
missed
6th,
it.
I
2
think.
weeks from today, right?
Yeah, next month.
Next show.
2022. That's good.
After COVID.
Yeah.
April 6th. April 6th.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I'm back.
The next live show.
The next live show.
2 weeks from today.
And Dave, don't make your poker night Saturday night because that's going to be, that's movie night. That's Mock's movie night.
Yeah, bring your hippie cat.
Oh, for this Saturday?
Yeah.
Dave,
It won't be anyway because I got to work. I mean, I can make movie night, but it'll be tough because I got to work in the morning. But yeah, so poker night won't be Saturday anyway, so it won't interfere. I won't steal.
It's very taxing on Dave. To be a participant is easy. To be the host,
somebody send Gino the link.
Yeah, I don't have the new link. And Dave,
I emailed to the same full list.
I did. I saw that earlier.
Oh, okay.
Andrew. Yeah. Awesome.
So if you got the email to the
Discord,
show tonight,
the new Discord invite.
Yep.
Okay.
You should have gotten it.
I sent it to Leo. Leo has it.
Mark, have you shared what's being presented, or is that?
He did earlier. I think must have been right before you, but you could reiterate for the people.
It's a collection of animated shorts that I've collected over the years. This is just a handful, a large handful, and most of the shorts are, well, 2 of them are a little long in the 5-6 minute range, but the rest are pretty short. So, but they're in the vein of like the Spike and Mike Sick and Twisted animated shorts. Some of them are from Sick and Twisted, but yeah, it's just a collection of fun, crazy, twisted, weird, funny, thought-provoking adult animated cartoons to drink to.
that make you go.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be a good laugh or go, oh, that was what the hell?
I think I said it before. The Sick and Twisted. The Sick and Twisted. I think that's the first time I saw Beavis and Butthead or some variation of it.
Beavis and Butthead got cut. Actually, they're not in it. In this
Did they?
One.
No, from
the next one. Yeah.
But I'm saying like
all those.
The original actual Sick and Twisted festival.
Yeah, that's one of the first times I saw them. Way before MTV snapped them up.
So the original, and those guys and Ren and Stimpy, I think, also were part of those.
Yeah, like Frog Baseball was like the first one I ever saw.
I saw 2 of them 2 years in a row. I want to say.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, he would submit them to Spike and Mike, and they would play in their festival that played all over the place. That's another great documentary, by the way. There's a Spike and Mike documentary. I believe it's on Prime. They talk about where the origins of it and how like Pixar was involved when Pixar wasn't Pixar quite yet. They're just starting up. They would play some of their really early shorts on there, and it wasn't Sick and Twisted back then. It was just Spike and Mike's Animation Festival. And then what ended up happening is people were starting to submit some really sick shit. And they're like, we can't really play this in our mainstream one, so we need to come up with a Sick and Twisted show, because there was some submissions. So one of the movies or one of the shorts that I put in is the catalyst for the Sick and Twisted. It's one of the main ones that caused them to create it. That's in my factoid. So at the end of the shorts, when it's all done, I have the credits, and I show it sort of like, I don't know if you guys remember the Mind's Eye CGI stuff, where they show the little clip of it in the corner, and then I have a little factoid on it. Some of them don't. Most of them, not all of them have factoids. Maybe 1 out of 5 or something. So it'll talk about what.
I was wondering. I was looking at your screenshot of your timeline, and I'm like, whoa, you're definitely adding a bunch of stuff in here that isn't just the shorts. That isn't just because I was like, this looks a lot busier than normally just a mashup of a collection of clips.
Yeah, it has has a little intro I made, and like I said, it has an intermission. And what I thought was fun about creating the factoids at the end is that you'll see some really crazy, weird short, and then you see that guy moved on to do some kitty animations like Johnny Bravo and Two Stupid Dogs or something. It's
I
like,
love Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, or Powerpuff Girls. That's what they moved on to do from doing crazy thing you just watched. Yeah, so. So I think it's going to be a good time. I hope you guys enjoy it.
It has to be where Rick and Morty got all their motivation from, that whole series. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where Adult Swim sort of like was born out of. In fact, some of the stuff that I'm going to show is probably tame compared to what you see on late night, Adult Swim. But then again, some of it you'd never see on Adult Swim that I put on there. So. Yeah, and not all of it's dirty. Some of it's just funny or thought provoking, stuff that I thought was cool. So, yeah, I'm really excited about this Saturday. It's going to be a good time. So,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, and anybody out there listening, if you want to join us,
and we're going to watch the entire Search of Darkness documentary before that. So we'll start yours afterwards at 1 a.m.
2 hours long. I was talking to Andrew. I was thinking about playing like a movie that we all like. That's exactly 2 hours. So I was looking at Andrew's list last Monday, and I was sending Andrew some ideas. So I was thinking maybe something like The Fifth Element, because that's a fun movie. Yeah. It's a fun ride. It's exactly 2 hours, and then when we're done, we can start it. And so I thought that might.
So that would start at 7.
That one starts at 7. So what's good is you might want to come early to make sure everything's working. So your sound's working. You can talk. You can see it. You can hear it. Do all your testing for that movie, and then. Then join at 9:00 Pacific time for Mock's Mayhem of Animated Anarchy.
Part 1.
I'm going to shorten the title on Volume 2, by the way.
Yes, there we go. Volume 1, yes.
I was going to call it Mock's Fucked Up Animated Shit.
That was the original title, right? Yeah.
But that's already been taken. So
that's taken.
That's the prequel.
Yeah. So Jim, if you have access to it, try not to watch it till the event. If you have access to it, I don't know who has access to Andrew's stuff. Nobody.
No one. Just you.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right.
And I wouldn't. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So.
Because otherwise, no one would be able to hear my reactions. And what's the fun there? I need the attention. Yeah. All right. Well.
So yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
So
everyone, thanks for
buddies.
Yeah, we'll see you on
Saturday.
See you guys in.
Awesome.
Yep.
So long, farewell. I'll be just saying good night. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight.